EOM Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello there, a very beautiful day to you, and thank you for joining us. You're watching the EOM Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Moore. Today on the program, we shall be taking a look at the Nigerian economy from the viewpoint of industry operators. Also on the lineup is Let's Talk, and our focus is on RENDA Africa Limited and Big Chance Lotteries Management Limited. On Spot On, we shall bring you a passionate, experienced sports manager, certified project management expert, and industry captain, Shola Okpale, who is the founder and group chief executive officer of CITYSPORTS Group Limited, a fast-growing, diversified group of companies in Nigeria. And on the face-to-face is a quintessential gentleman, experienced business development and analytics manager, certified fraud examiner, vision-driven entrepreneurial expert, and industry captain, Oladimeji Peters, who is the managing director and chief executive officer of FIRSCETRAL Credit Bureau Limited, the first licensed, truly independent, ISO-certified credit intelligence firm in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look up to in 2024. This is a must-watch. Stay with us.
Between 2016 and 2020, Nigeria's economy fell in and out of recession, and as a result, the operating environment became harsh, unfriendly, and difficult for industries and businesses in Nigeria. In spite of these uphill challenges, however, some dogged chief executive officers weathered the storm and, in fact, continue to record enviable successes. We speak particularly, in this case in question, about the CABOTA Group Limited. For the brand, there is a face, and the face for the brand is the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. In our own estimation from the research carried out, a quintessential gentleman, an experienced entrepreneurial expert, an industry captain, a CEO of great repute, team player, and all the positive acronyms that you can associate with it. It is against this background that we here elect to present this award to the Group Managing Director, CEO of the CABOTA Group Limited, to join 100 CEOs in Nigeria as top CEOs in Nigeria for 2024. Dr. Raymond Sheyi Akintari.
Thank you, EOM Business Network. I'm highly humbled because when you are performing and when you are doing things, you don't know people watch you don't know people taking interest in what you're doing. So we appreciate this. When I got this letter, I went, so I don't know, how do you know about your research? What are the criteria, what are the things you look at? Get into the sports. I feel on tonight that you are seeing what we are trying to achieve. This is just the beginning of the journey. I can show you that. So I dedicate this award to the board of directors, to the management and staff of the CABOTA Limited and the subsidiaries.
Well, we are here to celebrate the end of year party for the CABOTA Group Limited. It's an annual event, and this is a 2023 edition of this end of year get together. It's a Thanksgiving event. It's an event where we gather all our stakeholders, our staff, our bankers, our clients, and friends of the company together to rejoice and also look at the upcoming year in terms of its opportunities and openings available.
So how would you say 2023 went?
Well, in my words, as I always say, 2023 has been an amazing year. Amazing in the sense that it's been full of challenges. At the same time, it's been full of a lot of wins. We were able to navigate through a lot of challenges in 2023, and here we are today, to the glory of God, we're able to celebrate.
Toyi Adekwegba, a delectable goal-getting project manager and team player, is the head of marketing and communication, RENDA Africa Limited, Africa's leading order fulfillment solution for enterprises and medium-sized businesses.
RENDA is a technology solution that provides access to end-to-end fulfillment solution that manufacturing and e-commerce businesses need to scale their business in Africa. Our services, like I said, they're end-to-end fulfillment solution. When I say end-to-end fulfillment solution, it cuts across, moving goods from the manufacturing plant down to the last mile delivery. And think of all the infrastructure you need in between that process. For us, it starts with storage facilities, which we provide to our clients, our customers, to enable them to stock their goods. And then we also provide inventory management services, such that our staff, our clients are able to monitor their stock levels and do their demand planning more informed. They are not doing guesswork. They can see what their stock levels are at any point in time. They can see the shelf life of their stock levels, amongst others. In addition to that, we also do delivery services. We move goods based on demand. When our customers generate orders, we deliver those orders to the locations that they've given to us. Similarly, we also do haulage services for some of the agricultural businesses that need to move farm produce from, let's say, the northern part of the country to the east and the west. In addition, we also do cash collection and reconciliation, which is a bit of a headache for our clients to do at the moment. So we take off that stress from them, because most of the players in this market are the retailers that we deliver goods to. They pay on cash. So we collect those cash for them and then we consult for them in real time. So they don't have the process of loss of money, loss of goods in the process, and they can account for how much was collected. So those are some of the things that we do for our customers. What's unique about RENDA? Honestly, I would say that in this industry, we're probably the first or the only one that currently offers end-to-end fulfillment services. So when somebody refers to RENDA as a logistics company, I always correct to say, no, we're a fulfillment company. And fulfillment is beyond logistics. Fulfillment is all the infrastructure you need to get your goods across to your customer. So that's a unique value proposition for us, because we take off that stress of our customers. We provide that end-to-end service. So we're not just another logistics company, we're a fulfillment partner. We're tested and trusted by our customers.
Okpeyemi Oguntimeyi, an experienced project manager, goal-getting entrepreneurial expert and industry captain, is the managing director and chief executive officer of Big Chance Lotteries Management Limited, a fast-rising lottery and sports betting firm in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs in 2024.
In the nearest future, Big Chance will be all over Nigeria. we go across the whole 36 states. Yes, the nearest future. Government have been trying, and we still want them to do more. At least all the illegal operators has to be taken away from the system, because someone that does not obtain license can just frustrate the system, commit any atrocity and run away. So everything will still bounce back on we that we are genuinely in the market. So government needs to help us to flush out every illegalities. It applies to the economy, and besides, I want you to know that it's just because of the level of technology now. You know, everybody is prone to information. Unlike before, that the information is not other. You know, the era of this social media has made it, for everyone to know what is going on. You know, to know what is going on in the lottery industry. Many people they don't know before, but this social media had open up the channel for everyone to know that so something like this is existing. So many people are keen in and they are coming in. You know, that's why this thing is keeping on growing. We have a direct games means you can have 2 directs, you can play 2 directs, you can play 3 directs, you can play 4 directs, you can play 5 directs. So if you are playing 2 directs, let's assume that you play with 50 naira. Whatever that you used to play, multiply by 240. That is the odd.
Shola Okbaleye, a passionate, experienced sports manager, astute entrepreneur, certified project management expert, and industry captain, is the founder and group chief executive officer of CITYSPORTS Group Limited, one of the fastest growing diversified group of companies in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look up to in 2024.
I've been in sports in many different ways before now, long before now, since I was a child even. My dad, we came from a family of 6 children. My dad, those days, when I was 8 years old, 7 years old, each time he traveled, he would get gifts for all of us, right? But the gifts he would get for me were sports related, maybe a football or maybe a t-shirt with a footballer on it or something that had to do with football. I was the only one he would get sports gift for. It didn't mean much to me at the time. I didn't even remember until later on, maybe in my 20s, maybe early 20s, when I started going into sports. I now remember, it now occurred to me that, look, this guy must have seen something in me at the time, and that's the passion and that's the desire for wanting to be in the area of sports, right? So even in school, university and all of that, I was always amongst those that would organize sports tournaments, sports competitions, sports games, anything that had to do with sports, just so that people are engaged, people are happy, and people are generally just enjoying themselves. So that was how I started. I also went ahead then to start off a football club, but 2 football clubs. Our first was called Kings United. It was a community club where boys would come together every Saturday. All these boys were probably in their own academies or something, I didn't even know, but it didn't even matter as well. But we would just gather them every Saturday, get good jerseys, play matches, play friendly matches with other clubs and all that. We did that in Lagos, did that outside Lagos, in Badon, Osun, Akure, and all of those things, But it then went one notch up when that became a big program. It started getting bigger. Then with my church then, City of David, we started Redeemed Christian Church of God, City of David. We started what we call the COD United Football Club. This was the football club that was owned by the church, generally to evangelize, basically, right? And that project went for about 10 years. That project was a project where the objective was simple: to use sports as a tool to bring people to Christ, basically, right? And I think we did that well. we were in the league. We started in the last level of the league, which was at the time Amateur 3. So we went from Amateur 3 to Amateur 2 to Amateur 1, and then we went to NNL. So we did eventually get to the Premier League. We stopped at NNL before the strategy from the church changed. But all throughout those 10 years, there was so much that went on with that project. And then all of this, I was gainfully employed as well. After that project ended, we started, or I started what then was the City of Lagos Football Club. And because we had had operations outside of Lagos as well, right? So at the same time, we were starting the City FC Abuja football program, City FC Kano, City FC Ibadan, and all of that. So we had all those 5-6 projects going on at the same time, gathering boys and girls from the communities to develop them, sometimes find them jobs, sometimes train them to be coaches. So it was strictly a community program at the time. But again, the project and everything started growing much bigger. You then had students, young as children now, 4 years old, 5 years old, who wanted to develop in sports. Some of them had never played those sports before, but they wanted to develop. So we then had to start a program where we would develop students, and that's where CITYSPORTS came along. CITYSPORTS today, our objective is that we provide sports development services to children, not just in football. There's tennis, there's athletics, there's basketball, and there's swimming as well. And we do that across many centers. In Lagos, we have 9 centers. We have 1 center in Kano, and then we have another center in Abuja. The plan is to go as big as possible to reach out to as many students as possible. We set out to find ways to develop young people in sports, right? So our objective is to become, or if you like, our vision is to become the #1 in Africa in providing sports development services.
Oladimeji Peters, a quintessential gentleman, experienced business development and analytics manager, certified fraud examiner, astute entrepreneurial expert and industry captain, is the managing director and chief executive officer of FIRSCETRAL Credit Bureau Limited, the first licensed, truly independent, ISO-certified credit intelligence firm in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look up to in 2024.
On a personal basis, I don't think I know what it actually takes to be successful. But I think I've been a very lucky person. For me, on a personal basis, I just try to, like you said, be resolute, firm, and determined. But then I've also been lucky at the corporate level to have a good team of wonderful people, excellent professionals who work around the clock to ensure that what we do here actually carries some weight. Well, the founding fathers are masterminds and pioneers of other brilliant initiatives, the Bureau being one of them. And they had built the Bureau on the basis, or should I say, on the credence of, if you borrow something and you say, at the most basic level anyways, if you borrow something and you say you return it, then you shouldn't default or fail to return it. You should actually return it. And in the yesteryears when there were no bureau, you would see banks, file for Chapter 11 or wind up simply because people borrow money and then, there's a deficit. When they can meet up their capital requirement, they go back. And that was the case way back. But again, the Apex Bank has been supportive. They've been able to also create supporting institution to meet, some of these needs, and it's very important. As a nation, it's important that we create this type of institution, whether it's a credit bureau or microfinance bank, to actually help bloom the economy. Again, like the name signifies, and it's symbolic. The idea was to create something that has never been done before, and something at the focal point of economic need or even economic development that would attract or affect rather a larger macroeconomic variables, starting from the macro. And indeed, we've seen this and its resultant effect, take form within the Nigerian economy. You take a cost section of non-performing loans, or you do a quick review of, percentage of credit to default ratio within the sector. You start to see that over the years, with the operation of, as we continue to increase our operation, the non-performing loans within the banking sector started to decline. We started to see the decrease. For some banks who would say, they would rather go bullish on the reactive mechanisms, where they want to not use the bureau, but use forceful mechanisms of putting people in obituary, sending random messages to people. They would get results, but those results are reactive, and in the long run, those results itself would be the reason why their book balances will fall out of ratios and their non-performing ratios will skyrocket. The ones that are proactive, that actually subscribe to the bureau, would proactively engage customers who would actually have a tendency to perform. Because, that's the essence of what we do. Those that default are already on the red flag and they have a bad credit score. So the analytics will system them out, and they're able to now, cautiously engage customers that are likely to, or have a propensity to actually repay them. And in the practical sense, it's been a powerful utility, within the financial sector. And we're hoping to see even from the perspective in the next future. We're doing a lot more than that. We're doing a lot more than achieving it. So much we've had African countries all over the world come around to understudy us. And Malawi, Kenya, the rest of them have been around. And I'm talking about the Apex Bank from those countries. We're doing wonderfully well, but then there's also a massive amount of room for us to, develop and extend our initiative even bigger ways. Again, if you look at the statistics of financial inclusion within the Nigerian system, let's say, for instance, you take 200 million Nigerians and you cross-section that out to say 100 million adult population. If you have 100 million adult population in the system, the question then is, just how many people do you have in that adult population that are actually financially inclusive? And if you look at that ratio within your 100 million, and I'm just using these numbers, if not sure picking them anyways, but if you take out the number of people that are actually financially included within your 100 million, and you start to look at the figures, it will then beg the question: do we still have a long way to go, or we've actually been able to cover a large amount of? But that may be over and beyond the purpose of this interview, so I won't go over that today. We render numerous services, but the core of what we do, again, is identifying defaulters and seeing those that are also good to, they have a propensity to pay. So at the core of what we do is the credit score. And we have a scoring system called the NICO credit score, specially designed for Nigerian extensive advantages. The credit score is simply a 3-digit statistical probability that simply tells you at a snapshot the tendency of any individual to actually do something right or wrong, at least within the credit system. And so it would just give you a number of, say, 350 or 720. And in some cases, or in most cases, you say people rarely get to that type of score, but you say, 720 is good, and say 350, 400 is, bad, for lack of better words. But we identify that the customers with, higher numbers are good customers or better performing customers, and the ones with the lower numbers are the ones that are more likely to default or are higher risk customers. And there are many analysis, a lot of analysis are actually going into how we actually arrive at that number, from the amount of credit facility the person has taken to the default history and a dilution of credit facilities. Some people are just plain vanilla customers, where in some cases they borrow personal loans. And then you have other people who will take mortgage, or take a little bit of personal loans, will take a little bit of, everything. And when those people become more diluted, you see how they perform across the sector. You can then start to say, or across even other variances, you can then start to say, okay, not only have they been performing in one regard, but they've actually been, they've been steadfast in one regard. So pretty much, it would weigh all of that. The system would do that in a quick and swift like simply provide that 3 digits scoring for. And that's just one of the systems. You can have the analytics, you can have a detailed credit scoring, you can have the guarantee report. In some cases, we've seen where people sign off for people as witness or as guarantors, and they don't know that in the TNCs of such signature, they are actually liable if the other person were to default. And so the system should say if the loan or the credit in the depending on the nature of the loan. And at the point where the defaulter defaults, they don't even know that they are now carrying that liability until they walk into a bank someday and they try to get a loan and someone says, "Oh, you're owing us," and says, "I never collected any money from you." And so those are numerous cases. There are different types of scenarios that can actually happen. The financial sector is, let's say it's growing pretty much. Yeah, I think it's an emotional one for me, so I try not to delve into it too much. But I think there's massive room for development. We may be doing the country a lot of disservice if we don't extend our group a little bit further. And I've been saying this not just to regulators, but even to stewards and people in the financial sector.
This is FIRSCETRAL Credit Bureau Limited. Welcome to our world. FIRSCETRAL Credit Bureau. Call us now. And that's a good point to call it a wrap on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you very much for spending your valued time with us. We hope it was worth your while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to any of our other portals, as you can see on the screen. Our sincere gratitude to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Moari. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.